Hey y'all, welcome back to Bimbola's Off Duty Gourmet and Cultural Delights Kitchen. First, want to start off by saying the music that you guys are going to be hearing in the background, we don't own the rights to music. We're just enjoying some really good gospel, y'all. All right, so today we are going to be cooking a picanha tropical steak. Enjoy half a chicken with rice and beans for $5.90. Our little YouTube commercial. So, all right, we're going to be making a picanha tropical steak. We started marinating it last night, you guys. It's what we call a tri-tip, and it's always good to marinate tri-tip before you cook it, because if you don't marinate it first, it's not going to turn out as great. So first, I want to say sorry. We had a little bit of a glitch with the editing, and so it took us a little while to get the video edited for you guys' March birthdays. So happy birthdays, March babies. We are a little bit behind, but it's okay. Otherwise, wish you guys all the best blessings this month. It's your day, so turn up, turn up. All right, let's go ahead and get started. We're going to go ahead and preheat the stove. We're going to start off on high as usual. As you guys know, I normally do a butter steak. And so I'm going to try to watch the comments while I'm cooking, you guys. I'll try to be good about that, but I want to make sure I don't burn anything. So I'll be trying to watch. I can't look at it right now because I'm going to let's see if I can. Okay, yeah, I can see it. All right, so I'll watch out for it while I'm cooking. All right, so what I'm gonna do, I already got my station set up, and I've already taken the liberty to chop up. We have some chives and we have green onions, so that's gonna go along with our dish today. I'm going to grab the onions, and then we also have a mango. In our mango, we're going to chop that up, and we're going to include that in our cook today too. Hold on one second, you guys. All right. Okay, sorry about that. I'm turn that down just a little bit. Okay. Try me and you will see that I ain't playing. All right, you guys, so let me go and grab the rest of the ingredients, and then I'll be right back. We're also going to be making couscous too. I'm going to be making a turmeric couscous, and I normally make my couscous in a broth as well, so we're going to do that. We'll work it out all together. Hopefully you guys enjoy while we're cooking. All right, you guys, sorry, had to disappear. So we're going to be using a lemon. We're also going to be using a lime as well. And then I have a leftover onion. Yes, we use leftovers. So we're going to, right? Because, I mean, why throw it out? It's still good. So we're going to use that. And let me grab my seasonings. So here. Okay, so we're going to be using a garlic seasoning. We're also going to be using some salt and pepper as well. And so you guys know I have my famous salt and pepper that I love so much. Yeah, this is my my cooking, my food's best friend. All right, and then we're not going to be adding too much of the other, like heavy seasonings, because we want the fruits and the tropical flavors of what we're doing to take power over our food today. So let me go ahead and then grab the all right. So I have, as you guys know, I'm like organic. Like I try to go as organic as possible, try to eat as natural as possible. And so we have a organic vegetable broth that we're using. And then for the beef, there is no organic, really, beef broth that I could find. So I just tried to go with a broth that had less sodium in it, so it's not as heavy salt content. You know. All right. And then while we're doing that, we're going to go, so our pan is getting hot right now, so we're going to go ahead and get started. We're going to add our butter to our pan because we are doing a butter base. So let's go ahead and just get our butter down in the pan. Our pan is good and hot. Turn it down. Now, if it's a little bit hotter than what you want it to be, just take the pan off the eye and let it cool down a little bit because you don't want your butter to burn. All right, so that's real hot. So we're just going to go ahead and just get started. I'm using a nonstick pan today. The reason why I'm using the nonstick pan is because I have juices here on my plate that I want to keep with my meat as I'm cooking it. And so I don't want my juices to cook out in any way. And as you guys know, I always love my plastic, my press and seal. I will tell you guys, it's the best thing ever. Who invented it? Thank you. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and get our steak into the pan. Oh, we also have a different kind of, we have a breakfast tri-tip too as well. And so I figured, you know what, hey, since I'm cooking steak tonight and I'm going to be getting up very early in the morning, try to eat pretty early, a very early riser, so try to eat early. Why not already have this ready? Like, this is going to be delicious, something to look forward to when you wake up in the morning. If you have extras, why not eat it for breakfast? All right. And as you know, my rule of thumb, always keep your kitchen clean. All right, so we're going to leave that there for right now. And then what we're also going to do is you want to make sure that the steak is not cooking at a very low temperature because this is the kind of steak that you don't want to cook well done. You want to cook it, if you like medium well, like me, that's good. Medium rare, that's up to you. But I'm going to do my medium well. All right, so while that's cooking, let's go ahead and get started chopping up our vegetables and our fruits because our vegetables and fruits are going to be part of our tropical steak. Okay, so we're just going to go ahead. And you know what's going to be really delicious is for us to simmer everything together into one pan. And that's what I'm going to do. We're going to take all these wonderful ingredients. Oh, it's going to be so aromatic. I'm also going to add some fresh herbs to it too, just to give it a little bit of an earthy flavor as well. All right, you guys, so we're just going to take a little bit of this lemon and get that over our steak, get that nice juicy lemon flavor going in there. Okay. Throw those in our bowl. All right, and let's get our lime going. It's always good to cut both sides of your lime when you're cutting it because you want to make sure that it stays stable. It's a trick I learned from someone else, so I was like, hey, I can try that, and it works. Alright. And limes are a little bit more tender than the lemons. So what I would recommend at this point, now that you've added both your lemon and your lime, is to add a little bit of salt as well. So we're just going to toss a little bit of salt on that. And you know, I'm famous for going around in a circle with it. And to me, I just feel like that just cooks it properly. All right, and so now, check on it. Let's see. Oh yeah, look at that, you guys. Oh, and it just smells wonderful too. And you see how the nonstick, and you don't have to shake it or do anything to it because the nonstick pan in itself is, I mean, nothing's gonna stick. Just keep your eye on it, keep it at a good temperature, and then you should be good to go. Now, okay, so now that we have our, we're just gonna set that to the side real quick. We have our limes. We're not gonna do a whole lime. Limes are a little tangier than lemons, so it has a little bit more of a sour flavor. Let's go ahead and chop up our onions. So let's move this out of the way. All right. And by the way, if you guys have any questions or comments, let me know. Be happy to answer any questions or comments. All right. You know what? Let's go ahead and get our couscous water started because we're gonna have to. All right. So let's get couscous started. What we're gonna do is we're gonna cook it in broth. We're gonna cook it in vegetarian broth, and then we're gonna add. So, if you're measuring, you're probably going to measure about 1/2 cup of vegetable broth and then about 1/2 cup of water. I don't know if you guys could see that. 1/2 cup water. Right. And as you guys know, I always cook with bottled water or filtered water. I don't cook with city water. I know it sounds bougie. I'm sorry. Maybe I am a little teeny bit bougie, but I just think it's, to me, the chemicals and stuff they put in the water, I would just rather drink spring water. Anyway, teach yourself, do what makes you comfortable, makes you happy. All right. So now that we have, and as you know, whenever you cook steak, it's always good to let your steak rest. Once you get it off the stove, let it rest. Put it on a plate, cover it with some kind of cover that seals in the moisture, and let your steak rest for about a good 10 minutes. And that should keep the moisture locked and sealed in. All right, guys, so let's go ahead and let's get chopping with our onion, and let's get chopping with our mango as well. Since our steak is just about done, while our steak is resting, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be cooking our tropical compote. I like to tear off the first layer. I was thinking about adding some bell peppers to it. I think I just might bring some bell peppers into the mix. I think that would just add a really good flavorful element. And I don't recommend picking up your vegetables with your knife. I'm so sorry, it's a bad habit I have. I don't recommend doing that because you can't cut yourself. So don't try that at home. All right. Now that we got our onions chopped up, It looks like our steak is just about finishing up because I hear it. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna turn the stove on. We're gonna turn the stove down to about we'll say 175, and then we're gonna let the steak rest in there, covered. All right, and then prior to making that, I already had taken out our potato cake. This is our potato cake. We took some potatoes and just mushed it down in the middle. So we have that waiting as well in the wings. What we're gonna do is we're gonna take our tropical steak and then put it on top of our potatoes. Normally, like in my country, you use pounded yams, but in some islands, I've heard, I may be incorrect, but in some islands, I also hear that you can use potatoes too as well. So I thought, you know, why not just do something different? Instead of for me using pounded yams, I love yams. Yams, yes. I mean, who doesn't love a great look? Yum. Anyway, so I love fruits and I love vegetables. Let's chop up our mangoes. But yeah, so I thought maybe using the potato might be a good way to just get a different flavor that we're going for. All right. So mangoes are a little bit of a different beast. You have to cut the skin off first before you can actually get to the wood. You can't just go out and chop it because in a mango, you have to see it. So they kind of have to skin off without chopping too much. You can also fill it with potato peeler as well. You know, if you want to peel something, probably easier that way to fill it.
I hit my knees for you. Lord, all I need is you.
My aunt was the one that taught me how to fill mango with a potato peeler. Like I would have never thought of that on my own.
I could not be who I am today without you.
So that's pretty much the same. Maybe a little bit less waste than to do it with the peeler.
Truth is, I'm no good.
It's a little bit more harder to hold on to with the peeler than it is on the chopping board.
They teach me how to number my days.
That has washed everything. Everything goes underwater. Alright, so wash the mango off. Alright, that means our stove is ready and our steak is ready. Okay, and now while that's resting, we're gonna chop. Alright, so maybe that's how it's easier when you chop it on the side. That way it's flat, and that way you don't hurt yourself when it's cutting into it.
Your plan was greater than mine. Everything changed when I called upon Jesus. Forgiveness was the key that I needed better.
So we ran into the city Always make sure you're cutting away from yourself too. Never touch towards yourself. That's why we want to be safe. Alright, so this is what, as you can see, there is a seed underneath there. And so this we don't throw away. This we eat. You can actually, if you wanted to, you can get your potato peeler and then you could shred the rest of it and put it like in a non-fat yogurt or put it with some ice cream or maybe just even put it with your breakfast. So that's what we're going to do. We're a breakfast steak in the morning.
Part of the show. Where you go to
all right, and that's what this is.
Musical. I got the.
All right, so we'll put that on the side.
No sense to me. What? Step Up High Water. All episodes now streaming. Only on YouTube.
Okay, guys, we're going to go ahead and get this chopped up. and you want to chop them up in cubes because we are going to be putting it on a plate and we're going to be plating for compost. So presentation, as you know, is everything.
Don't forget, God bless me, God. God bless me, God. God bless me, God. God bless me, God. Bless me, God. Bless me, God. Feeling so waste. Now, we never quit. Hands to the sky, I'm like, oh, we made it. On this every day. Got hit with this heavyweight. He got a pump and illustrate. He's script, I'm trying to educate. I don't know this. Y'all got a life and I'm hoping to live it. I've been out treatment. Came with the outfit.
All right, so you got pretty much all the mango we need. This is the rest of it's going to be extra.
I got an army, but trust in his power, yeah.
So we're going to go ahead and put the rest of it into our bowl and save that, and we'll eat that in the morning for breakfast.
Don't forget, God bless me, God. 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 I'm in my bed for the beginner. Give you a class. Is any bed?
All right, so now that we've got that put away, we're going to go ahead and add our mangoes to our onions. And then we're going to bring out our fresh herbs. So I'm going to add, one of my favorite herbs is thyme. So I'm going to add a little bit of thyme. And then also want to add a little bit of fresh basil too. So we're going to cut some fresh basil.
We gon' win all day. Bless her, no new flag. Bless her, mirror. Don't forget, God bless me, God. 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 Bless me, God. God bless me, God. God bless me, God. God bless me, God. God take me down. God take me down. God take me down. God take me down.
All right, you guys. Okay, so we've got our sauteing pan. Sorry, I had to go across the kitchen. So, walk a little bit. My apologies. All right, so I went and got our thyme and our basil. We're going to use some fresh basil, and we're also we're not sauteing in butter, you guys. We're actually going to saute this in a little bit of olive oil. I mean, literally just like a drop of it, not much at all. And then we're also going to saute it in the mojito sauce. So our steak was marinating in our mojo sauce. I call it mojito, sorry. So we're just going to add just a teeny bit of the mojo sauce to our vegetables. We're going to let that fry just a little bit, and then we're going to start building a flavor profile. We're going to start layering our flavors. So let's go ahead. All right, so first we're going to start off with just give it a dash of salt. Then we're just going to give it a dash of garlic. Remember, I said we're not going to be adding too many different layers because we want the flavor of our tropical mixture to take its place. So we're just going to add some garlic and pepper. All right, so we're getting a nice good sear on that. That's ready to go. All right, so let's start off with our onions and our mango. All right, you guys, I'm back. Okay, I want to turn this down, and now from this point out, we got a nice big simmer on it. We're gonna go ahead and let this cook out for just a little bit. Remember, we're building our flavor profile, so I don't know why I can't say flavor. It's like I almost want to talk another language. Say it in another language. All right, so we've got some fresh basil. We're just going to toss the basil in there. It's always good to wash your vegetables when you do, and it comes to using herbs and you're rinsing them off with a paper towel. And just get it, just in your paper towel, just like this, with your, just dry it off like that. See? Okay. All right, I'm gonna just drop it in there. You're not gonna eat it, it's just for flavor. All right, we'll get another one. Same thing. And I do the same thing with my thyme too, as well. I always wash all my vegetables off, just, be cautious, be safe. And then just let that start cooking. Douse, if you need to add a little bit of more sauce to it, you can. Don't add any butter. Because we're not going for a buttery flavor, we're going for a tropical flavor. So butter will just take away from that. So just add a little bit more. Cooks down. You don't want it to stick at all. You want it to stay moist. All right, and so let's go ahead and get started with our couscous. So we're going to be using a organic. It is a non-GMO turmeric couscous. All right. And since we have half cup of our vegetable broth, and then we have another half a cup of water, we're going to be using probably about a half a cup of couscous. And it's good to constantly keep it stirring. And when you're cooking couscous, it's you have to watch your water to grain ratio to make sure that your couscous doesn't get all sticky, because you want it to come out the way that you want it to cook, like that, except for cook. All right, and then just go ahead and give it a nice good stir. Here, I'll let it pan down so that you guys can see what I'm doing. All right, so here's our couscous. So you just want to stir it. Just make sure that you keep stirring it. And you see how I said that you need just to have a little bit of, not that much water to your ratio, because you don't want it to come out gummy. Just, and make sure you keep an eye on it while you're stirring, while it's cooking, just so that it doesn't stick to the bottom of your pan also. So we're gonna stand here. We'll keep an eye on that, because couscous it's not like rice. It's a lot of people think it's pasta, but it is a grain, and it cooks like you kind of cook it like rice, but a little bit kind of like pasta. It's weird. I don't know. When I learned it, I was like, well, that's interesting. I want to try that. So, and I like to try. I love trying new things. All right. Ooh. Oh my gosh. Oh, only if a phone could smell. Oh my, it smells so wonderful. Okay, now, yes, we're gonna dump all this in there. You're like, wow, that's a lot of lemons. And yes, we're building a compote. And so this is gonna be, you can take the lemons out, but we love lemons. We eat them right off the rind. And limes too. They're really good for you. They have so many essential vitamins or nutrition for you. So fruit in itself, it's just good for you. So, all right. And don't ask me which ones because I can't start naming off. I don't. I just know that they're good for you. I've read it somewhere online probably. All right. So now that we have our lime and lemon, we're going to let that simmer as well. We might want to kick up the heat on that just a little bit because it's on a rind. Let's get back to staring at couscous. So yeah, this smells so wonderful. It's turmeric. You know what I'm going to go on the wild side a little bit, you guys. I'm going to add a little bit of curry to it just so I can give it a little bit of a kick. All right. Just move you guys over just a little bit. And so I have this wonderful, I was cleaning out my closet, well, my pantry, and I had found this wonderful Jamaican curry that I completely forgot. It was like lost in the back of the closet. It's this Caribbean. There you go. Oh, this stuff, yeah, it's nothing like the store curry. It's nothing like it. It has like a it's awesome. I love it. I love Jamaican food. I love island food. Oh man, oh my gosh, it smells wonderful. I think I'm gonna put it on both sides just for a little bit of taste because I just love this stuff. This is awesome, but not too much because it's very pungent. You know, in our country we use a lot of curry too as well, but we use a lot of curry in soups and stuff like that. Sometimes so when I use curry, I'll sometimes do like a onion, broccoli, and a beef over rice. Maybe we could do a cook like that. I'll show you guys how I do that as well. Everyone loves my stir fry. If you know me and you're on my timeline, you know about them stir fries. All right. Okay. All right. So now that oh my gosh, it smells so amazing, you guys. Okay. So let's go ahead and add some more thyme in here. Remember you said that we're going to be building those flavor profiles? All right, so we've got some really fresh thyme that we're going to be adding. See? All right. And thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you for cooking with Bimbola. Really appreciate it. You guys love watching. I love to cook. And just want to talk, you know, maybe you guys could share some of your wonderful recipes with me and what you guys love to eat and stuff, and maybe we can come together and throw a dish together, you know. So all right, so we have our thyme, we have our basil, we have our onions, we have our mango, we have our lemon, and we have our lime. We got a really good tropical picanha steak going on. Let's check on our steak. Our steak has been resting for a while now, so let's see how well it's doing. Oh wow, you guys, it smells so wonderful. Oh wow. Okay, so we've got to flip these over. Make sure they stay nice and moist. And we didn't really cook these all the way either. We just cooked it just well enough to where it's not to where it's still not rare. Look at all those juices in that pan, you guys. Look. Oh wow. Can't wait to dig in. All right. Now that we've got it, this is the time. We're not going to use our chives. Our chives is going to be our garnish. We're going to use our green onions. All right. And it looks, this is like a really nice, you know, it's kind of late right now. It's about, what, 7:30? You know, we got started late. So if you're trying to, if you're like me, you know, and you're on a mission to be healthy and live healthier, and, you know, this is a good meal to eat if you happen to eat late at night because it's not heavy. It's not too heavy. A lot of people think potatoes are bad for you. Potatoes are actually the good starch. The bad starch is, and the carbohydrates is your rices, your pastas, and your potato chips and breads and things of that nature. Those are your bad carbohydrates you should not eat at night. But eating a potato is not actually bad at all. Dr. Atkins' diet actually recommends you eat potato, steak, and eggs, but who wants to eat that all day? It's kind of boring. So, all right, now that we have this actually is ready to go. That's all we need to do with that, and it was simple, easy peasy. So what we're waiting on right now is our, we're gonna add a little bit of our beef broth to our beef as well. Now that we see that's, we're gonna keep the moisture going in there, so we see that it's doing well. All right, and then our compote also, we're gonna let that rest in the oven for a little while too. So you don't wanna add too much, just add just a little bit, just to keep it moist. Because the reason why I'm adding this is that I don't wanna add any more of the mojito sauce. I don't wanna overpower the flavors of the plate. I'm just adding that beef flavor just to keep my beef moist in the oven while we wait for this couscous to finish cooking. And then we'll go into plating, y'all. All right, couscous should be ready in a few minutes. We'll just keep stirring that. Don't you wish your plate was hot like mine? All right, I'm gonna stop being corny, y'all. It's late. When it gets late, I get tired. When I get tired, I get a little goofy. Hence my late post last night with my sandwich. It was a very old picture. All right, you guys. So we're just waiting for that couscous to take off. Make sure that it's ready before we go to plating. And so, well, I guess I can explain the plate to you guys while we're waiting, and then we can also plate the kitchen as well too while we're waiting for the couscous to get cracking. So yeah, let's have some kitchen talk, you guys. You know, what has everyone in the world been up to? Well, how's everyone's day? Any good testimonies lately? Anyone having breakthroughs? You know, 2020 is a year for us to level up. So, anyone have any breakthroughs, or anyone, you know, have some awesome things to say? God is doing some wonderful things, you guys. You know, God is so amazing because He really is. He's really all-knowing. He's everything. He's everything. And anything that you have that you need, or anything that you want, you know, the Lord always makes a way, always provides. He's always good to us. He loves us. You know what? I've been wanting to post this to you. I've been wanting to say that I want each and every one of you guys to always remember every morning when you wake up and you thank the Lord, I want you to remember that God broke the mold when He made you. He made you uniquely your own. He made you special and unique. And there's no one else that can be anything or anyone like you. So when you walk in your day, you walk in your power, you walk in your victory, and you walk fearless for God. So it's a lot easier for me to say it on video than for me to type all that on the go. But basically, that's all my kitchen talk. You know, I could talk y'all all night, but I'm not going to hold y'all. So, all right, the couscous is going. It's just about there. See? It's not, you want to make sure it's not mushy. It still has its same form, but it's just cooked. So. All right, so it's almost there. Give it a couple more minutes. Well, let's get the kitchen cleaned up. As you guys know, my favorite, my go-to is Lysol. Keep it always close by. Love this stuff. Very friendly, leaves less residue coming on your counter. Yes. All right, now that we've got our workstation all cleaned up and ready, we're going to go ahead and start getting ready to plate our food. Okay, so we're going to set our potato mash in the oven along with our steak and our vegetable compote and our couscous. Oh, wow. Look how awesome that's coming out to be. Yep, just make sure that couscous is kind of a hard thing to cook, but if you keep stirring it, it'll come out all right. All right, I'm so excited. I can't wait. Can't wait to see what this is gonna taste like. Normally I do like a gourmet type steak, you know, but I was like, you know, I want to do something different. I want to try steak in a different way because I love steak. I think steak is one of my favorite beefs. Favorite cut of beefs is probably either a Wagyu or a New York strip is my favorite cut. All right, see that? Just about there, y'all. All right, so now I've been cooking it on high, just cranked up the heat on it a little bit. Because it's still a little wet, we're gonna go ahead and just let that sit out and simmer. Let's get our plate ready. All right. Plating and presentation is everything, y'all. When you're sitting in a restaurant and they bring your food out to you and you start looking at the food and you're like, wow, your eyes are already eating. If the food looks wonderful, if the food doesn't look great, your eyes have already probably turned your stomach off unless you're just hungry and you don't care. But that's very true. It's very, very true. When you go in a restaurant, if the food does not look appealing, you won't eat it. So I always say presentation is everything. Make sure that your plate looks appealing and looks attractive so that when you present it to your friends, family, and your guests, even your loved one, you know, just want to cook something nice for them. They're like, you made this? And they'll be so well surprised, overwhelmed. They'll love you for the rest of the day or the year. All right. Okay, so I want to show you guys how I did my potato mash. So I've already taken the liberty of pre-cooked my potatoes. It's very easy. By accident did I do this the other day, and I was like, oh wow, I wonder if I can do this like a pound of yam or something, you know. So, but I actually came up with a different. So you set them in the middle of the plate, and then my idea was to just. I know Jesus loves me. Don't forget the H, please. I know Jesus loves me. Not as beautiful as my first one, which I'll show you. So my first one. Seen that pretty? Alright, so we're gonna put this one in the oven. Let that get warm a little bit. Be sure to always use the oven mitten when you're reaching the oven so that you guys don't burn yourselves. Burnt myself earlier. Not fun at all. All right, so now that we have that going, I'm gonna go ahead and douse a little bit of pepper. Let's get some pepper going. And let's see, our topping. Okay, yeah. All right, so we're gonna finish it off. I have a bacon topping warming up in the microwave right now. I cooked the bacon earlier. I wanted to make sure that it was completely soaked all the oils out of it because I don't want my plate to be oily from the bacon. So I cooked it earlier before we did the show just to make sure that the oils were out of the bacon. So yum! Wait till you guys see this. Really cool. You guys can, rerun the video back if you want to remake it yourself. It's delicious. It may not look delicious in the way I'm making it now, but when you guys see the plate and presentation, you'll eat it with your eyes. Okay. All right, so our bacon's coming out. So let's go ahead and get started with our steaks. Remember, we doused the potato with some pepper and some salt. Okay, get a little bit more of garlic pepper on there. Okay. All right, same flavors, you guys, that we're using while we're cooking. Go ahead and just, get the meat, soak up the meats real good. Soak up the juices in the meat real good. All right. Normally people will barbecue tri-tip, but me, I'm very unorthodox in the kitchen. I guess I feel like if you cook outside the box, you can enjoy a lot more that food has to offer, All right. Like we're not eating the same thing twice in a row or 3 times in a row. Unless if it's a leftover, I'm all for it, definitely. But all right, so now that we've got our steaks ready, we're gonna go ahead and plate. So you just want to set it down really beautifully. There you go. See that? All right, and then let's go ahead and then get our here's our tropical. All right, you guys. Okay, so we're just going to go ahead. You want to push the lemon and lime out of the way. Make sure, if you don't want to eat the basil, I don't recommend eating the basil. It's not tasty. It's only tastes good if it's in a pan. But so just push it out of the way. Put the thyme out of the way too. And just get a nice scoop of your fruit and veggie compote. It's okay if it falls all over the plate. It's kind of like the decoration, I guess, decorates it. So you get that time out of there. Kind of arrange it a little bit. Alrighty. Ooh. We have our lime. We have our lemon. Yes, so we're going to just set it down, and we're going to make us a nice, pretty design, y'all. All right. I probably only played it with maybe 2 limes, just because, limes, like I said, a little bit more tangy, a little bit more sour. So we don't want to hide the steak. So I think I'm just going to want them to know what it is. So let's just put the lime and the lemons on the same side. That's good enough. Salt is on.
Yeah. Thank you, Lord.
All right, and I know I have my fingers on the plate, but don't worry, I stay in the kitchen washing my hands.
And cause we went in your passport, right through the city, got the Bible on the dashboard.
Awesome, isn't that? All right, and then she's like, where's the couscous going? Well, I'm glad that you asked. All right, so we're gonna take the couscous. Yeah, we cooked the whole pot of it, but we don't really need that much of it. We got the couscous.
To the God, Lord, for these shit for them. I'm gonna thank the Lord when I'm marching. Wake up in the morning, gotta thank the Lord. Thank you. Oh, you still breathing, gotta thank the Lord. Thank you. Hands in the sky, gotta thank the Lord. Thank you. Even when it's bad, I'm gonna thank the Lord.
All right, so now that we've used our couscous as part of our garnish, then let's go ahead now. We're gonna use our chives.
Even when it's bad, yeah, I was Michael Black.
All right, you guys, so not bad for a late start and for a healthy meal. And just let's give it a quick douse. Okay, and then I'm gonna make it look nice and pretty. All right, and there we go. We're all done. I'm so proud of y'all. If you guys join me and if you guys cook along with me, great job, you guys. Look at that. So just to explain what we cooked today, we have our first layer is a potato. Second layer is a picanha tropical steak. We marinated in mojito sauce overnight. Always marinate your steaks if you can, especially if it's like a tri-tip or New York strip or, upper steak. Marinate it. You'll be doing yourself a favor. And then we took mangoes, onions. We used also some chives and green onions, limes and lemons, and we sauteed those together. No butter, you guys, in the vegetables, just a little bit of olive oil and a little bit of the mojito sauce that I use for the steak so we can have the same flavors. And then we made a turmeric curry couscous. We use the couscous as a garnish just for the flavor so we can pick it up as we're eating our steak and our potato. And then so if you want to add a sauce, the lemon and lime is a sauce itself. Just squeeze it over your steak. See? You squeeze it. And there you go. And that's all the sauce that you need. It's all the flavors that you need right here. Very healthy meal. Good for you. It's about 7:40 right now, so it's not too late to eat it. I'll probably be up till about 12. So, all right. Here, take a bite. All right. Y'all be blessed. Y'all be good. Jesus is Lord. God loves you. And remember, if you don't know Jesus Christ, today is the day you should get to know him. He loves you. No judgment. Come as you are. You don't need to do anything. He'll do everything for you. All right. Love you guys for the love of Christ. Take care. Get out of my kitchen. I'm about to eat. Bye.